Stage is yours.
Thank you. Oh my God. Nothing says don't mess up your speech like my face on a stick. Oh my God. It's Bali Sisterhood, everyone. Wow. Thank you. So I have an unpopular opinion. I believe that there's some really terrible business advice out there. I have gotten an ungodly amount of terrible business advice throughout my venture as an entrepreneur, and tonight, I'm here to tell you about it. I was joking with my friends the other day, actually, about writing a book about the worst advice that I've ever received as an entrepreneur. Tonight, you're gonna be the lucky recipients of the top number 1 and number 2 absolute worst pieces of advice. If you're down for that, give me a woo! Yes! Ladies in the back are way too excited to hear bad advice. I see you. So the number 1 worst piece of advice came when I became an entrepreneur. I was super stressed out at my corporate job. I was having a terrible time after being there for 5 years. My hair was falling out, and I was ready to make the leap. So I turned in my 2-week notice, and I felt immediate relief. Yes, I'm free. And then 2 weeks later it comes along, and my job finally ended. I was like, oh my God, what do I do now? I guess I could do something that I've always wanted to do, which is being outside in the sun near the Santa Monica Ocean. So I started walking dogs. And turns out I was really good at walking dogs. So in 30 days, I got 30 clients. And I thought, wow, okay, might as well make a business out of this, right? I guess I'm an entrepreneur now. So I went home and I bought a little logo on Canva, and I put the dogs together on it, and it was a pink sparkly logo. And then I made my custom business cards that said, Amy Schwab, professional dog walker. And I bought a $7 domain, betcheswalkingbetches.com. And my best friend at the time, we were living together, and she turns to me after 30 days and after seeing all my hard work, and she says, this is where the number 1 worst piece of advice comes in. She said, so you're just gonna walk dogs? That can't bring much money, right? Why don't you go get a job down the street at a grocery store? Thanks, Jessica. What kind of advice is that? That's terrible advice. And let's unpack what she was actually saying. What she was saying is, don't believe in yourself 100%. Give yourself 50% and throw the other 50% away at a grocery store job. That is so problematic for so many entrepreneurs to hear, especially in their first month. So luckily, I did not take her advice, and today I am the proud owner of a 6-figure luxury pet care company in Los Angeles with a team of 13 while I live here in Bali. And so I'm here to tell you the number 1 best piece of advice is believe in yourself 1,000%. Because if you don't, then who will? Who will? There's a book called The Art of War, written by Sun Tzu, later famously quoted by Tony Robbins. And there's a story, and it goes like this. So there's a general and his army, and they're responsible for overtaking the island, the neighboring island. And so the general and his army go and they row over. You can tell I've never rowed before in my life. What is this? They row over to the neighboring island, they park their boats, and they go up the hill, and they're ready to strike. The general goes down, lights fire to all of the boats. Why does he do that? Well, he goes back to the army and said, you've got 1 shot. You're not going back. There's no plan B. You are not retreating. You are not falling behind. You are not running away. You are accomplishing that. And so that's what I'm here to tell you today. The top number 1 piece of advice is believe in yourself 1,000%. You do not need a plan B. As Tony Robbins says, burn the boats. The second worst piece of advice came about 6 months later. It was November 2023, and I had hired about 5 team members at that point, and they were absolutely crushing it. They were doing a fantastic job. And I was brainstorming with this person, how am I gonna celebrate my team? They're doing such a great job. And this is where the number 2 worst piece of advice comes in. This person turns to me and goes, why would you buy them anything? They should be happy working for you. You don't owe them anything. A show of hands, who here is an entrepreneur? Identifies as a business owner? Wow, the majority of you, wonderful. Keep your hands raised, actually, if you manage a team, even if it's one person. Amazing, keep your hands raised. If that's not where you are right now and you want to be, look around the room, that's who you want to talk to at break, yeah? Wonderful. So what this is telling me is I need to not celebrate my team that's helping me grow. And that didn't make any sense. So again, I didn't listen to this person, and I ended up celebrating my team. And do you want to know what happened? 5 of my best team members today were word-of-mouth referrals from other team members that had a wonderful experience. And so the golden takeaways for you tonight is, number 1, believe in yourself, and number 2, invest in your team as though it's your most valuable asset, and that's how you can turn a $7 domain into a 6-figure agency. Thank you.
Did it again. Well done. Thank you so much.